Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope that you will be fine and healthy. Today our chapter is chemical equilibrium. So before starting the chemical equilibrium, we will explain the chemical reactions and types of the chemical reaction. So what are chemical reactions? The chemical reaction can be defined as the chemical process by which the reactant change into products are called chemical reactions. Chemical reactions are chemical process in which the reactants convert or the reactant change into products. What are the reactants and what are the products? Reactants, those chemical substances which can take part or which can participate in a chemical reaction are called reactants. And those chemical substances which are formed as a result of the chemical change of the reactants are called products. The reactants can be written at the left side of the arrow and the product can be written at the right side of the arrow. And arrow indicate the chemical changes or the chemical process or the chemical reactions. For example, HCl hydrochloric acid is a strong acid. NaOH sodium hydroxide is a strong base. When the hydrochloric acid react with NaOH sodium hydroxide, they will form the common table salt NaCl sodium chloride and water. So as a result of the chemical reaction of acids and bases, the neutral product salt and water are produced. In chemical changes or in chemical reactions, the properties of the reactants will be completely changed. The product will have different properties than the reactants. For example, 2Na, sodium is a metal, chlorine is a gas, and when the sodium react with chlorine, they will form the common table salts. So the properties of the sodium chloride is completely different than the properties of sodium and properties of chlorine. There are two types of the chemical reactions. First one, irreversible reaction. Second one, reversible reaction. First, irreversible reaction, the chemical reactions which can proceed only in one direction. Those chemical reactions which can proceed only in one direction. One direction mean either the reactants converts into product only. The product cannot be converted back into the reactants. Or in these reaction, only the product can be converted into the reactant. The reactant cannot be converted back into the products. So these are in one direction. And the irreversible reaction can be represented by a single arrow. And an arrow show the change, the direction of the change. For example, 2Na plus Cl2, sodium metal react with chlorine gas and they will form sodium chloride. Similarly, H2 plus half O2 molecule react and form water. These are in forward directions. Irreversible reaction are of two types, forward reaction and reverse reaction. Forward reactions are those reactions in which the reactants converts into products only. So, Na, sodium and chlorine are the reactants. In this reaction, the reactants can be converted only into product. The product cannot be converted back into the reactants. Similarly, hydrogen react with oxygen and form water molecule. The water molecule cannot be converted back into the hydrogen and oxygen. So these reactions can proceed only in forward direction. Similarly, 2HCl hydrochloric acids can be converted into hydrogen gas and chlorine gas. Similarly, 2SO3 can be converted into 2SO2 plus O2. Look here, HCl is a product. In this reaction, the product can be converted only into the reactants. The reactants cannot be converted into the products. Again, the product can be changed or converted into the reactants. The reactants cannot be converted into the products. So these are reverse reactions. Reverse reactions are those reactions in which the product can be converted into reactants only. The reactants cannot be converted back into the products. Another types of the chemical reaction, reversible reaction. Reversible reaction. So we can define the reversible reaction as the chemical reactions which can proceed both in forward as well as in reverse directions. Those reactions which can proceed in forward as well as in reverse direction are called reversible reactions. Reversible reaction can be represented by double arrow or double-headed arrow, which shows that the reactants can be changed into the products and the product can also be changed into the reactants. So these reactions can proceed both in forward and reverse direction. Therefore, they are called reversible reaction. For example, HCl, hydrochloric acids plus sodium hydroxide, when we combine the HCl with NaOH, they will form NaCl plus water. In reversibly, if we dissolve the sodium chloride salt into water, they will produce the acids and bases reversibly. Therefore, these reactions are called reversible reaction. Similarly, 6CO2 plus H2O, when combined together, they will produce glucose plus oxygen. This is photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, the carbon dioxides react with water molecule and they will produce carbon dioxide and oxygen, glucose and oxygen. They will produce glucose and oxygen reversibly during the respiration. The glucose can be broken down in the presence of oxygen into carbon dioxide and water molecule. So these reactions are reversibly. The carbon dioxide react with water and form glucose and oxygen. And the glucose can react with oxygen, or glucose can be oxidized into carbon dioxide and water. Okay? So these were the types of the chemical reaction. In the next lecture, we will discuss the chemical trend. This is enough for today. If you have any questions, so write in the comments. Wish you best of luck. Thank you.